what would it be? Or maybe 10 or 20. I want you to pick one. Just one. There's one thing that you could just open up the door of possibility today, a worry, a weight, a conversation that didn't go so well, a broken heart. And just know for the next little while while we're together, you're just going to put it on pause. And I want you to wrap that one thing with so much light and love right now. Just wrap it. And as if you're just allowing it to float away. Just gently, easily, just let it float away. Come back here, please. Open your eyes. I want you to take a huge deep breath. Inhale. Hold it. Just hold it right there for a minute. Take one more inhale in. We're recalibrating to know freedom is right here. Exhale. I want you to imagine this day that one thing, as if you don't need to carry it out of here, just as if there's a receptacle of some sort by that door, that you can just leave it here. And my ask is that for the next time, just if you could just give me this blessing today, that for the time I'm with you, that it's not here, that you don't carry it. Let's just see what it's like to play in that field of, oh wait, I'm going to let it go. I'm just going to put it down for a minute. And just watch where your energetic system lives for the next 20 minutes, 30 minutes. Then watch if it folds over into the rest of the day. But right now, I'm just asking you to just let it be. See anyone's shoulders dropping down a little bit? The weight that we carry in this world from things that we have not let go of is massive. And the greatest news is that I want to tell you today is that it's not that if it hasn't happened yet, it doesn't mean it's not going to. Reverend Michael says it beautifully when he says delays are not denials. Just because it hasn't occurred, if your let go hasn't been released, if your heart hasn't been healed, of the financial overflow that you're wanting to live in hasn't occurred yet, does not mean it's not going to happen. We get to keep remembering that we live in this magnificent, beautiful field of consciousness that is always in overflow. Always. It's our ability to consistently, openly, lovingly let go of what doesn't fit so the overflow can keep occurring. Imagine that when we're holding on to things, the energy with us is restrictive, right? We're kind of like, we hold on to it, we create restriction. And in that restriction, there's no room for more to land. This is why many of you know that I've asked you to write acknowledgments regularly. When you're writing acknowledgments, you create a field of receptivity around you that leaves a whole spaciousness for all good to land. Because when you write an acknowledgment, you just let go of a judgment. Who knows what I'm talking about right now? Right? When you write an acknowledgement, even like I just acknowledged myself for getting to Soul Center this morning. I acknowledged myself for sending an email last night that needed to be sent. I acknowledged myself for sending an apology that I could have done a year ago. Any little acknowledgement, you open up a field of receptivity because you just let go, created space. Right? An acknowledgement releases a judgment that you probably could have had, were sitting on for quite a while in your mind. Do you understand what I'm talking about? Is it the weight of what we carry? I want to just open the door today to go, where can we drop it? Where can we leave it? This universal consciousness can take it. You can leave it all here. If you want to leave those 20 things I said, just pick one. Leave them all here. We don't need to keep carrying them. We just think we do. Because our stories are really interesting. And when we hold our story, we feel like it defines us. Is that making sense? When we talk about, well, this happened to me, and that's why I've got to hold on to it, because this justifies the behavior I do over there. So let me just tell you again why I behave that way. Because I behave that way because this happened to me. And do you know what I say to that? Especially if you've been in my office a few times. I'll say to you that right now, if I hold you in that space, I'm keeping you limited as well, and I'm not about to do that. I'm not going to agree with the limitation that's self-imposed that could be healed. It doesn't mean we're not going to heal it. We don't ignore it. But we can bring it to the surface of our consciousness to heal it and love ourselves through it so our let go is pure. But lots of times we keep moving through this world thinking, I just got to hold on to this, got to hold on to this. Woo, let me hold on to this resentment because that person's walking in the door and I'm just going to hold on to it. It doesn't do us any good. We learn that our let go is so pure that we don't need to create the resistance. There's enough resistance in the world as there is. Our intention as a spiritual community is to stand as one body of light of consciousness that absolutely dissolves all resistance, yes? That we are in this field of awakening of conscious mindset, that we can stand in our light without saying a word and not resist anything. We have a massive history showing us those individuals who stood in light, in love, and did not buy into the resistance. They stood in the light in the midst of resistance coming at us. We're in a spaciousness in the world right now that's what's being called for us. Wherever we're at. There's enough happening right now that is still creating resistance, right and wrong in the world, that we get to stand in the let go of anything that we had before that doesn't fit and think, what do I want to carry into this day? What if you had an intention every morning you woke up and you thought, my intention is to stay awake to what I'm carrying into this day? What thoughts, what beliefs am I taking into this day that I could potentially just let go right now? That's what I'm inviting you to do. Wake up and know, what can I let go of? I want us to review how often we let go every day and we are not recognizing it. There are so many avenues that we let go each and every day where we justify other places that I got to hold on. But I just want to review this. How many of you sent a text this weekend? Anybody send a text? Fabulous. How many of you went out to dinner in the last week? Or maybe ordered food? Great. How many got in a plane in the last year of your life? Anybody got in a plane in the last year of your life? Thought so. Anybody go to the bank? Or did you put your money in the bank? Anyone do that in the last week? Great. Now, if that's not a let go, were any of you controlling what the bank teller did with your check? Did anyone say, hold on, can I go back there with you? Because I got to see exactly where you're putting my money, and I got to know it has my name on it. You completely let go of whatever financial wealth you know that came to you. You said, here you go, and you just walked right out the door, and you may not have ever seen that person before. Am I correct? Anyone in a restaurant, when you go to a restaurant, did anybody order their food, then run to the back and say, all right, now let me ask you, let me see what pan you're using, what you're putting in there, because I have to control exactly how this is done. Did anyone do that? This is why in let go over and over. Wait, why is somebody laughing like they did that? I was like, wait, that was me. I own that restaurant, and I ran to the back and said, could you please do it differently? But usually we don't. Where else? Texting. Anyone send a text recently? And as soon as you let go, you may have gone, oh, goodness gracious, what did I just do? We're constantly in a place of let go, and yet we're not really thinking about, if I can hand my money over, if I could get on a plane. I don't know the pilot. Never met him before in my life. But he's about to take me across the middle of the ocean, and I'm trusting him. Last week I went to Disneyland to be with my family. I got on every ride I could, every time I could get to it, fast. And I had my hands in the air and was squealing with delight and falling all over my little niece and had so much fun. Never once met the operator who was absolutely making sure I went fast, upside down, round and round. Who knows where I could have gone? Never once did I say, excuse me, I really got to meet the person who's pushing the go button. He looks like Indiana Jones, but I don't know if that's him because I'm still getting on this ride. In other words, we are always in let go, but where are we free to really consciously know, if I can do that, if I'm letting go of all these other little places in life, where can I let go of a conversation that I had a year ago that I'm still mad at that person for what they said to me? Do you catch this? I'm getting hot, excuse me. I have to strip, I'm getting excited. It's that when we are not letting go of something, then we're holding on to thoughts and limitations that keep us stuck in our story. So we carry that story around, and at the same time, we're in the midst of letting go of massive decisions in our life without even thinking about it. And I'm proposing today that you get to look at, wait a second, where am I so easily letting go of some things, and other things I am holding on like it is life and death. Because guess what? Your life depends on your let go. Your life depends on it. When you want full-on freedom in life, the joy of freedom comes in the free fall. The free fall of that roller coaster going up and down, right? The free fall is where you are totally letting go and allowing Spirit to carry you. Because when you're holding on, you're saying, Spirit, I got this. I don't need your help. I don't need your help. I know what I'm doing. I absolutely don't need your help. But when we are living in full-on freedom and free fall, we are consistently in a let go. And you can think about it every time you go to the bank and go order a meal, get on a plane, get in your car. Whew, that's a let go right there. You're getting in your car and you can control what you're doing, but you can't control what the other millions of people are doing, correct? But we trust that. We say a prayer and we get in our car. When I ride my motorcycle a lot to church, Reverend Michael used to love that. He'd laugh like, did you ride again today? I go, I did. I rode again today. I'm covered in leather. But that's how you can kind of tell. It's not the day I wear dresses, right? But every time I got on that bike, there was a prayer. I never once got on it without thinking, oh, let me just surround myself in white light. Let me just surround myself and everyone else and know I'm safe as I move through this day and let go of fear. Because if I rode and had fear on my mind, what would have happened? I would not have been up too long. I would have been down on the ground quite fast because I would have attracted it. My intention was I'm watching, and you can hear it. If you get in my mind, you can hear me going like, upright, this bike is upright and everything's well and I'm just fine, everything's safe. Enjoy, because prayer led the way. The let go was, I love to do this, I'm going to do this, so I'm going to pray and let go. That's why in our prayer we have our let go as the final step, because our let go means, God, you've got it. I'm doing the work. I'm listening. I'm absolutely staying in intention in my life. I'm directing the pathway which I want to go. And then I'm letting go and letting God figure it out. Yes? Yes. But for some reason, at times, because in society it seems acceptable, I want us to just raise our vibration as a society. That we have the opportunity, if you're in this room and beyond it, you have the opportunity to raise your vibration as a society and take your consciousness into the world, not just here, but living it, so that your let go is constantly, moment by moment, like with every exhale, you just let go of a resentment, a hurt. Do your healing work. I'm not saying ignore it. We must do our healing work to do the let go. But if we shove our healing work aside and act like, I'm fine, I got this, it's usually got us. A wonderful client of mine he's in the sober community, and he's been doing real well for years. Did his practice every day, intentions, every night, gratitudes, acknowledgments, working with his family, with his intentions, doing everything on his spiritual practice to keep himself strong. And all of a sudden he started to fall away from his spiritual path a little bit, and he walked in one day and he looked at me and he said, I relapsed. And I'm already back up on the horse and I'm okay. He goes, I relapsed for 24 hours and guess what I learned? And I said, what? And he goes, I suddenly got off my spiritual path and went, God, I got this. I got this. I don't need to be in a meeting. I got it. I don't need to do my spiritual practice. I sure don't need to meditate. And the second, what an insight. Could you imagine that at least he caught the insight? Once he caught the insight of like, whoa, the I got this leaves out God. What if we just changed it up to we, as a community, with divine source moving through each and every one of us, we got this. Yeah. Meaning then we're connected and our consciousness is moving through as a unified field of consciousness, that we're absolutely creating life together in oneness, but not from a singular mindset that sometimes ego sneaks in and says, I got it, I don't need your help. Anytime that happens, we're holding something. Is this making sense? Yes. We're holding something where we can still be in, we think, control. And the beautiful thing is when we let go, we don't need to be in control because we're working with the universal presence that's got our back in every single step we take. If you realize in the world that we create many preparedness in the world for disaster. I thought about this the other day. We if you, in our governments, at our schools, wherever we're at in businesses, we have a preparedness for disaster. Most of you in business and work have that, right? You know what you got to do. How many times when we were little, at least when I was, it was like that fire drill went off and we were like, where do we go? What do we do? We are prepared for it. There's a conversation in the world right now about being prepared for it. I got my bottles of water sitting right where they're supposed to. I just don't know where the heck to put the ton of the food and the extra clothes. I haven't figured that out. Where do I put it? Because what if I need it when it happens? Somebody can help me with that, please. But the thing I was realizing is we're prepared for disaster, but where are we preparing for freedom? Like, could we have a curriculum that says, here, okay, we're being balanced. We've got our prepared if there's a disaster, if there's a tidal wave, if there's an earthquake, here's what we do. But what if we want to live in full-on freedom where we are not holding resentment, judgment, anger, hurt feelings, anything, and we want to let go of that? What would that look like? Could you imagine if your children went to school and they said, and here's your preparedness, this is what happens if there's a fire drill, and this is what happens to live a life of joy. It would be brilliant. But each and every one of us could, in our mindset, know what is my path to prepare for free fall and freedom. What would that be like? How much trust would I have every day? Would I live a life of love every day? Would I stand in forgiveness every day and wake up and where there was something I was holding on to, I'd be more interested in that to let go of it, not to justify it. If we can just allow ourselves to love ourselves through the hurt, heal it, be so interested in the healing of it. See your practitioner, talk to a friend, do your meditation, get in your practice to know, Spirit, help me heal this. How often have we said that? Help me heal this. I accept divine healing now. There's been moments in my wonderful property that Jessica and Patricia were talking about that I've been outside in tears saying, show me what I have not seen because I've missed something. Because something hurts and I need to heal it. I want to heal it. So what am I not seeing? Spirit, show me. And guess what happens? Like a tidal wave, I get shown. You know why? Because I got still and opened the door to be more curious. Instead of justifying what had occurred, I was more interested in about the healing. Show me what I've missed, Spirit, because for some reason, something I missed it. I thought I was on the path. And sometimes we think we're on the path and we're following what we've been told humanly to do. And all of a sudden we forget our beingness. Like, wait, where's my beingness? And when we open up our parameters to, it's not just this, there's more. There's always more to be revealed. When we're operating from the consciousness of, well, this is what I know now, so I've got to keep operating in it so I can justify the story, we forget to open up the windows of freedom and say, show me more. Reverend Michael speaks so beautifully about when we ask for help, it always comes. We don't always ask. How many of you have asked for help lately? Whew, thank goodness. Okay, that's good. I'm close to half of you. I just propose that in the next week, everyone somewhere, let us be open to asking for assistance, whether we're asking the angelic realm, God, Spirit, the universe, each other. Can you help me? I'm hurting. Could you just hug me? Could you just hold me while I get through this tough spot? Just hold me in consciousness. That is a let go that allows healing to come in and absolutely create profound depth in your heart and soul than you will ever know, because you're not trying to figure it out. You're surrendering to catching it. Do you get the difference? Instead of us pushing to get something done, when we're in a free fall, we let go to listen to Spirit's guidance more than anything else. I want to just invite you, if you are living right now by a curriculum of freedom and joy, please repeat after me. Would you be living in love?
Yes.
Would you be living in full-on joy?
Yes.
Would you be absolutely forgiving?
Yes.
Would you be releasing any kind of resentment and judgment if you're asking for full freedom?
Yes.
Would your heart be open?
Yes.
Are you willing to live like this?
Yes.
Are you willing to practice?
Yes.
And are you willing to ask for help?
Yes.
Beautiful. That's where we begin. When the doors of willingness are open, anything is possible. There is no hurt too big that Spirit can't help us through. We don't ignore the depth of the hurt, the challenges. We get into more curiosity of what's possible for me to heal my heart and let go. I would love to know that each and every one of us is living in full-on freedom at every moment of our lives, that there's nothing holding us, because your freedom brings freedom onto the planet. You catch that, right? Everyone that is shining brighter, allowing their old things to just fall away and stand in their light of truth, is allowing anyone else next to them to catch the vibration and absolutely live in that way as well. I feel it's our spiritual responsibility to stay awake and to heal and to grow so that we assist everyone else along the path to do it. We're here as a body of consciousness to illuminate this planet right now more than ever before with love. Acceptance, not resistance. Resistance just creates more that we've got to push back against. And acceptance can stand in acceptance. If I know this for myself to be true, God, direct me, give me guidance, or what are my steps to implement in the healing of this earth and everyone upon it. That's our calling, and that's living a life of freedom. But it's also going to take you to the free fall. And I just inspire you to allow that free fall to go. Just allow it, to just trust that you will be caught. When you're in the free fall, Spirit catches us by the grace of consciousness. We are caught and lifted to continue onward with more wisdom than we've ever had before. Yes? Yes. Beautiful. I'm going to ask as I pray for all of us now, I just want to ask for each and every one of us to know that let go that I just asked you to let go of. Just know where the receptacle is on the way out the door. If there's any ounce of you holding on to it still. And as I'm praying you out, I want you just to know if there's anything else on this day that you can just, with an exhale, let go of. And aim for, what is my curriculum for freedom? What does that look like? How grateful I am to live right here, right now, from this divine state of consciousness, knowing that all unfolds for the highest good always for each and every one of us, that we move through life existence connected and whole to the presence. That our let go is so pure this day that each and every individual in this room and those that are hearing these words, that our let go is so pure. For we are accepting and knowing that our free fall is the freedom because we are being caught and lifted by spiritual wisdom. Our practice is our life. Our connection is our heartfelt love. And how good it is to know that this beautiful space called Soul Center is a blessing and is blessed. That we come together to know the truth for ourselves and to hold the conscious space for one another, to continue to shift, to illuminate, to be a body of consciousness that gives love, receives love, and knows the truth in the midst of all circumstances. I bless this beautiful community. I bless each and every one here that their let go is pure. And I bless that we are open instruments to receive more than ever before of goodness, of grace, of joy, and unlimited happiness. That our preparedness for freedom is happening now. In gratitude and joy, I let it be and let go, for I need not hold on. My let go is pure. I pass it, trust it, and so it is. Amen. Thank you. Thank you all. May I please invite the ushers forward? How happy am I to hear there's a building fund happening. I'm so happy to hear that. I just have to touch on this. Do you know that these two beautiful ladies come here every Sunday to prepare this for us? It doesn't look like this when they arrive. They prepare all this for us to be held in the consciousness of love. And to know that we are aiming and accepting a divine home is beautiful. So let's just know that we are living in that overflow of abundance and that the law of circulation is happening here to bless Soul Center everywhere as we grow and expand, and that it always just comes right back to receiving in your hearts and souls as well. So I just bless our ushers as we venture onward.